to answer them.
Ja, allereerst goede avond, uiteraard. Kan iedereen me
Good
horen?
evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Achterin ook. Gisteren was
In
dat
the
wat
back.
moeilijker.
Yesterday was a bit
Kan je
tougher.
kort terugkomen op de wedstrijd? Ik denk
To quickly come back on the
de
game.
eerste 15 minuten.
The first 15 minutes
Volgens plan.
was going quite
Precies wat we
as
wilden
planned.
zien. Het doeltrappen hoog vastzetten vanuit het
And we
veld.
were going to see how it was going to go in the transitions.
In een lage blok komen te staan.
We came in a low block. The boys did it really well. They could really transition nicely.
En dan
Mika God.
dan moet die gifbeker leeg.
And then at some point the poison comes out.
Een rode kaart.
Then we get a red card, and from that moment we knew it was already going to be tough with 11, and then with 10 we switch it around. We understand their emotions, the players as well as with the fans. We made a decision to go from 2-6 with 2 holding midfielders, and then quickly from the outside with Wout, those tackles. We had 2 goals we let in and then 2 penalties. We were in the corner where the hits are landing. So after the halftime, and then from the 2-1 we want to go into the changing room. And then after the break it became 5-1. I've seen a courageous Ajax, some boys that kept on fighting for one another. With 11 it was going to be tough, and with 10 as well. So there's big compliments on that for the boys.
Er zijn veel mensen mee, Gijs, dus hou het kort per persoon. Christian, jij eerst.
You're talking about the change from Oscar Kloch. I understand the emotions from the supporters. They were whistling first, and then they were saying, Johnny, Johnny, go away. What do you think of that?
Wat ik zeg, ik snap de emoties.
I understand the emotions.
Dat was van korte duur.
It was short pain.
Is dat niet wat je wil horen?
It's not what you want to hear.
Wat ik zeg, ik begrijp, het is voetbal.
But as I said, it's football. Their people, our supporters came to London. A lot of supporters. The red card. And Oscar is one of those boys you would like to come to the stadium, and you make choices at some point. You make choices with Oscar as a 2-6 player. If I could pick someone better than Oscar, I understand it. It was positive, not just for me, but also for the club. If you see how the supporters in the last quarter, the last 15 minutes, they really were chanting for Ajax, and they were very proud of being Ajax fans. You understand that at some point that the poison has to come out at some point, and that pain they feel as well. Pasver was tonight the first keeper. He'd heard it a while ago. Why had you decided on that, and will he stay first keeper? I spoke to Remco a few days ago. He said he would be playing in that duo. I wanted experience from the back, some communication as well. He did it really well, but you know how he as footballer is. So it's things he thinks about. The most important is that we head towards Sunday and we'll calmly think about who will play. Itakura and Mkagots, they could play 3 games, 90 minutes. You let them play for a while and you let them stand for a while. Is that a risk, or how do you see that? Yeah, I made that clear decision. I made that today and yesterday. You saw big knock-ons, and then we end up on the wrong side. We're playing against a top team in the last 2 games. They've passed, and I would have rather had them a bit later in the Champions League. It's a necessary risk, but we have to adjust as quickly as possible, and then I know how they'll be tomorrow. At least today they didn't have any injuries. Through which emotions did you go through in the first half? That can also really flip-flop. We started well in the match. You see things, you see the plan materializing, the boys communicating with one another. And then when you start like that, you think you can transition vertically or horizontally. And it asks a lot of patience and discipline. Those are things that are good, but then you have a moment where it's, in one moment it might not be as good. Is it really a red card in that moment? And then you're thinking about it. And then with the penalties or with Wout, in the break, Wout had to get off for, and you have to make sure that they made the right decisions. And that's annoying because then you have to cash in. In the second half, you quickly had the 5-1, and then after that, you look at the clock and then it takes a while. You're a child of the club, you came from Ajax. And a player like Johnny, go away, what does that sound like? I try to relativize that. I understand the emotions, I understand the reaction. I was there with 10 man in a difficult game. So as I just said, for Oscar, Oscar likes to see the fans, and as do I, and you see what happens on the field. He came, and for new players you have to give them some time, and it's not like that you end up starting. But for this moment, I chose to have a bit more physical presence on the field with Johnny and have a bit more flanks readily available. And that was the choice in the end. Of course it does something with you, but it's a lot of good that they are immediately after behind the team. And for the pressure on Sunday against Twente, for this moment it's the most important is processing this game. I'm not talking about the pressure, I'm talking about focus. Ajax is completely at the back in the Champions League. What does that say over the situation for the club? What I say? There are opponents that are stronger, and I'm clear on that. For the past 3 matches, we've had some serious good teams, even in the Champions League. They've proved that. So I knew that, and I hope that we get through the games as best as possible and get any points we can. And they're really bonus points. That's how we see it. We're not always playing to win. We never get on the field to say that we're happy with a loss. But we know that there's another 5 games to play. And that's what we're focusing on for the remaining games in the Champions League. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you not go towards the fans with the players? I don't think you've seen me go towards the fans a single time. So that's not new. Okay, great.
Kun je de microfoon naar rechts doorgaan? Dankjewel.
What do you think of Kenneth Taylor, and what did he say to his teammates? He didn't say anything, and I haven't seen anything returned from that. It's a red card, and you have to cash it in. It's sour, and Kenneth knows it as well. It's a full duel to play on the field, so I don't really know. It's an unlucky red card. The 4th official said he had to give it. Kenneth is of course disappointed. I saw him in the changing room, but I haven't spoken to him yet. You didn't see the duel, but it was really a red card. Yeah, okay. We look at it in hindsight. We look at it in the screen. And in the end, the referee made the decision, and he made a few decisions. It was probably correct. Otherwise, they didn't do their job. You just spoke about the stitches in Wout's forehead. Wout wasn't completely fresh, he had to go out. The yellow card wasn't an indicator. I told him on the field that he didn't look fit to play. Wout said he should be chilled out to start, to be fresh and ready to go. What can you say about the changes you'll have against AZ and then in the future to Twente? We see things in the training. We saw some good things in the first 15 minutes. made a good couple of changes. We were against one of the better teams in the competition with 10 men. With a few difficult situations, we had to make a couple of serious long-term changes, and we see a few things coming up. As I again said, with the last 15 minutes, it was tough to... We've said a lot about the Johnny go away comment. What do you think of that? When the stadium starts turning against you, I see definitely the emotions of the fans, and surely their reactions from the fans. Have you had it? I've spoken to Alex a lot, and certainly about these sorts of things. We never step on the field thinking that we're going to be happy with the loss. With the playing team as well as the direction of the team, and now all I'm looking at is the upcoming game towards Twente. You're not planning to go away yourself, are you? How can you turn this around with Ajax? I'm repeating myself. Where the club comes from, the first step is to be healthy. We've let a few players go, we've had to sell a few with salary. I knew that from the get-go. I also knew immediately that I wouldn't be grabbing it with a playbook ready, that I have to figure it out as I go along, thinking in the long term. I know it's a question of adaptability, and you have to lay fundamentals. The first 15 minutes of Ajax, for example, we have to see the players with their strengths and have some power behind them, and I'm sure we'll get it sorted. What happened with the 10 man? As I said, you have a few moments where you can have a few penalty moments. The boys stood there, and you can see from their organization, every single tiny meter they're not standing right is a mistake, and they can punish that. Final question over Oscar Gloch. With Azad, he wasn't happy with his substitution. Did you talk about that? No, don't be worried. I speak every day to Oscar. What did you tell him? Those are things I discussed with Oscar. I don't have to share that with you.
Yeah. 2 questions before we leave. Yeah.
Champions League match is at home against Galatasaray. They just beat Liverpool and Bodo, and Osimhen is in great form. What kind of game you are expecting?
No, at least it's a home game. No, it's a strong opponent. They won against Liverpool, so we know we need to be good. We need to prepare ourselves for that game because, yeah, it's one of the, and not only now but also in the history, one of the best teams in the Turkish league, and also they showed in the past, also in the Champions League, that they can compete with the best teams.
Yeah. Final.
John, nice to see you. Tough
Again.
night tonight, going to be, but obviously after you went down to 10 men. Can I just ask you what you made of Chelsea, a young talented side, full of confidence now as well? Do you think they've got potential to go all the way in this competition?
Yeah, if you compare them with last season, I think they started really well in the league and also in the Champions League. They have a big squad, a young squad, but also a squad with, with a lot of experience, because Enzo is still there and a couple of other players. But you see, they spent in the last years a lot of money, and Maresca, he's building a team, and I think, at the moment, it's a team to watch. And also in the Champions League, we knew already, with 11 it's going to be difficult, and especially with 10. So what I tried to explain to the Dutch media as well, the first 50 minutes was good, but after we concede the red card, an unlucky one, it was a difficult match for us.
Ja. Bedankt allemaal voor het meereizen naar Londen en tot de volgende keer. Dank.
Jongens.
Goeie reis.
Thank you.